Thanks.
Thank you, Benni.
Thanks. So maybe there's somebody that doesn't know me, that's fine. I'm Benni, I live in Stuttgart, I have a small company with 17 people, and we do TYPO3 and other stuff that's interesting on the web. I live a happy life, so I'm actually quite happy as it is, and in Stuttgart. And I also do the core development work. I plan the next versions, and I also develop, but I also talk about it. And that's why you're all here. What's next? So what did Benni plan, and what did Benni come up with? What can we present to our customers? Well, we have version 7, but that's not enough, right? And of course, we can play our lovely Buzzword Bingo. The stuff that we've all heard the last 2 days, the last 2 years. Let's talk about market share, our competitors, why TYPO3 is still, or is in that place where it is, about the visibility, why is TYPO3 not in the US or in Asia, and why isn't like the whole ecosystem not like agile enough? You know, we have these buzzwords, content marketing, and all the stuff I always also hear is like, why is TYPO3 not sexy? What is sexy? And well, we can talk about that. We can also talk about like the cool features that, of course, we can put stickers on our product. Talk about we need workflows in TYPO3. We need you know, APIs. We need REST. We need buzzwords, big data, data warehouse, data hubs, and use TYPO3 for that because everybody's talking about it. Well, 2 years ago it was all mobile, and of course, all under the hood, it has to be completely flexible. Back then we used this Swiss Army knife with like you can do everything with TYPO3, and well, you can do, but we've heard that enough. And then stuff I also get. Buzzwords that people come to me and it's like, yeah, what about the vision? And now Benni's presenting what's next, and what is the actual vision of TYPO3, and what's the strategy behind it, and why are we not innovative enough? So what does that actually mean? So we can do blah blah, buzzwords about that, about marketing. Every second person talks to me about marketing. I'm actually a developer, but it's okay. And how we can extend and expand with TYPO3 at all. But today, I'm not going to talk about these things actually. I'm not going to talk about all these things. Maybe 1 or 2 points, but you'll notice it. Today, let's get personal. We always talk about like Benni's doing this and that, and TYPO3, and we were great in talking, but I think that we need to talk about personal things because every single person counts. Everybody matters. Not just Benni here on stage, but yeah, every one of you here, everybody in the TYPO3 community, in the web realm, and not even in the TYPO3 community, but like who knows about TYPO3. So that sounds like you might have expected something else for version 8, but I'll give you a quick extraction on what I'm thinking of. Maybe you know this guy, Denzel Washington. He's a nice guy, looking funny and laughing, and
is he using TYPO3?
I don't know. I would love to meet him personally. He's a great actor in my opinion, but so he's playing the good guy, the bad guy. He's been around for quite some decades, but he's not just an actor, like who wants to do the cool new fancy stuff, doing Mission Impossible movies. He's actually, if it gets down to a personal level, he's actually also doing teaching on for actors, for people who want to become actors. So he talks about not just like, look at me, I'm the great guy. He talks about, you know, about every single person. I want to share that with you. I think everybody watches stuff on YouTube, and there's actually one clip that includes Denzel Washington that is my favorite clip on YouTube. I found it a couple of years ago, and it seems quite unknown. And it's actually like a 4-minute long speech about dreams and goals. I will show a small excerpt of that just in a minute. But it's actually something that I just looked into 2 days ago, and I thought that is exactly the thing that TYPO3 also includes, or is also relevant for TYPO3. So let's see if that works. Yeah, so if you want to look that up on YouTube, I really can recommend that clip. And what I want to share with you is what I take out from that message, actually, from Denzel Washington, that there's something good inside of me that is my desire, that I already have. So I don't need to think of, okay, maybe I want to do this or that, and next year I want to do that. There's something in me that I can actually, that I love to do, and that's what I want to talk about. My dreams for TYPO3. Of course I have other dreams, that's fine, but we're also at a TYPO3 conference, so I'll talk about my dreams for TYPO3. And as Denzel said, it's dreams stay dreams if we don't do anything about it. But first of all, what are my dreams? And for me, it's not like you have it instantly, you know, that's my dream. But if I had to nail it down, it's probably that TYPO3 is really, truly the best software for web content management. So people are like, okay, TYPO3 is not like superior of everything, but it's something that people look up to. But also, TYPO3 is also innovative in a way that it leads the PHP world with things that we just need and do, and through that it becomes the de facto standard for everything that is related to web content management. Doesn't mean that it's the only system that everybody in the world will use TYPO3. Don't get me wrong. It's not about TYPO3 will rule the world. It's something. So it's TYPO3 is part of that. Is part of being, you know, in the front. But again, these are my dreams, right? So don't nail me down on them. Because dreams without goals fuel disappointment. And I like that statement because I feel that if you've worked with TYPO3 for quite some years, you had the point where you're disappointed by, I don't know, the version strategy or the upgrades or anything else, like that typo3.org looks like this, or the marketing material. We can find a lot of things where I wish or I dream should be like this and that, and I get disappointed. And I got disappointed a lot of times. Because maybe I didn't share my dreams, and I didn't set up goals. So, what are my goals, my next goals? I think for us in the TYPO3 community, or for myself, when I talk about TYPO3, the next version, I think we need to reconsider how we work with content, or data in general. And actually reinvent the way we think about websites. It's not like, okay, I'll do a website and it's going to take 4 months and I'll do that. It's shifting and changing, and I think we need to not just adapt, but also look ahead and see where this is going, related also to content management. And something that's not really code-specific or version-specific is that we need to reposition TYPO3, wipe the dust off and say, TYPO3 is actually a motor for others. And that's version 8 for me, a version 8 motor, an engine. It fuels others, or it's not fueling, it's actually powers other systems, other ecosystems, and it's just versatile. You can put it in a small car, you can put it in a truck. And TYPO3 is a motor for that. And that's, yeah, my dream and also my goal for version 8. Or actually for TYPO3, let's say in the next 1.5 years, because these goals, and if you nail them down, it's about, rethinking the whole editing experience. It's not just, okay, we'll make it look different, but it's still the same way it behaves. It's more, and it's just from the top of my head that, you can, why can't you drag and drop content elements on the page tree or stuff like that, or be more productive with productivity tools for, I need to create like 10 product pages and they have the same template basically. And I just need to change the images, and that should be like super duper easy to set up and also to use. It's things that, if you use TYPO3 a lot, should actually help you work faster with TYPO3. But also, we need to work on the foundation. Maybe it's not a V8 motor engine yet. And at the same time, work on the foundation is actually having like the framework that is underneath, that we actually go more into standards, talk with other PHP communities and software, with Symfony, Laravel, Send framework, and Flow, and take the best of that and put it into our motor so we can power up the trucks if we need them. But also that we care about the small websites, because if you need a website that is just like a one-pager, you don't use TYPO3. And that's totally fine, because you use WordPress or something else. And I think it's key not just to think about the trucks that we need or that we want to build, but also the small cars, because that's the place where it's like, okay, TYPO3 is the engine that is put in, I don't know, 60% of all the cars in around the world, and of course in all of the trucks. But still, the cars are important too, because we can learn about a lot from the car way of driving, let's say. yeah, so these are my goals for version 8. And that means also that, or just to that, how do I say that? That also means that we need to think of like the details or like the surroundings, and basically we like how we worked, or I like how we worked with version 7. The 7 LTS is out in November. That also means you've seen the chart hopefully a lot of times this morning with a release strategy that version 8 LTS will be out in April 2017. Sounds far away, but it's actually just 1.5 years. So we will keep the release strategy. We want to be reliable. You know, you heard the stuff this morning. We're going to support PHP 7 only and everything that comes after that. Mostly because by the time we are going to release 8 LTS, version 7, PHP 7 is the only PHP version that is going to be supported that we know of right now. And of course, about all the browsers, what we heard before, we will support IE 11, and then Edge, Firefox, Chrome, Safari, you name them. Probably we'll add some tablet browsers on it as well. But that's, you know, the frame around it. And then you're like, okay, that was kind of lame what Benny just said. It's like, I want features, I want the buzzwords. And I'm actually at a point where I'm like, no, you won't get anything else. You come up and talk about TYPO3's not having a vision. If you haven't listened the last 10, 20 minutes, you should watch the YouTube video again, because you won't get much more of a vision of what we're going to than that. And then you're like, okay, maybe Benny, that's your dream, your goal. You're not listening to the others. Well, I think I've talked to more people about TYPO3 in the last year than I've done the 5 years before that. And it's not, I don't feel I'm far off with that. So the other thing is also, well, it's all blah, blah. Just keep your deadlines, get me the next version, and that's fine. I think we can keep the deadlines. We failed with 6.2, and we're on good track for version 7 and also version 8. But then, how do I achieve these goals that I set up for myself? And we heard discipline and consistency. Again, talking about the vision, I want to focus on the main expertise, on our main prime area that we know, and that is content management, or in a broader perspective, data management. If you talk about, you know, front-end users, it's kind of related to content. It's all in one system. But at the same time, being disciplined and consistent by keeping the code quality up, I also want to, you know, improve the communication, going consistent and steady forward in that. And also, I run a company, but at the same time, there are 30 people actively contributing to the core. They need leadership. They need to know what's next. Not in the next 1.5 years, but maybe in the next 4 weeks, what they can contribute and work on. And also, I need to talk about these things and not just keep it to myself. But so, I talked a lot about my dreams and goals. Maybe that's my perspective, but I feel what's next for TYPO3 is not just version 8. I think we need more than just this engine. And the reason is that it's not just me, it's each one of you here. So you could say, okay, it was all sketchy, and we'll see, you know, Benny will write a news and talk about more these things that he just had in his mind. So you could actually sit back and relax for the next 1.5 years and see what Benni and Mathias will do. But again, I'm a developer, and maybe version 7 is something that you finally can sell to your clients. But a good product with version 7 or version 8 will not market itself. We have to do something about that. And also, I feel the community will not grow just because there's Mathias and Benni and being everywhere and talking about everything. It's not a 1- or 2-man show that will solve all my problems that I will ever have. It's about that everybody here that is just maybe a first-time visitor, seeing what the TYPO3 nerds will do, that you think, well, I'll go to the events, that's fine. I think everybody here has talents, has gifts, and as Denzel Washington said, we already have it. So I showed you this video, and it's not just about my dreams and my goals. What I want to do is actually show you the video again, and this time think for yourself what your place could be, and as Denzel Washington would talk to you. So I'm glad some of you like it. So this presentation is not probably what you expected, and it's also not what you wanted to hear. You want to be the one that, yeah, bring it to me and talk to me and I'll listen. I think that TYPO3 needs you. TYPO3 needs every single person here, not just here, but around the globe. And I ask you to think of your dreams, because I won't be the one that will fulfill all your dreams that you have and be like you, yeah, okay, Benni does this, so there's more expectations. Benni should do this and this and this. This is not how it's going to work. Everybody has something in him or in herself, and we need to claim that. And I think I want to ask you to see what the next goals are for you in the TYPO3 universe, and see if you can actually do that if you want to be disciplined and consistent. And then that's something, okay, I cannot program. I cannot do a lot of things. I don't even know what I'm good in. I'll give you an example. This is just from the top of my head. What is there that is maybe not directly related to coding? And we need people that are really good in marketing or social media, that can talk to and can educate others, that have funds for raising money or connections for raising money for development or for marketing or for anything else. It's just, my personal view on things. I think there's way more than I can even imagine. And there's also, for instance, use cases. So everybody's using TYPO3 somehow, somewhere, and we have these use cases on typo3.org. And somehow we want to relaunch typo3.org with the use cases being, presented further. For instance, there's nobody saying, okay, I think I have like 2 or 3 use cases, I want to submit them, or I'm the one, so people could say, okay, I'll do that, fine, I'm done. But you can also say, I'll take the head on the use cases topic. So everybody that has use cases, come to me, bring it in this form, and send it to me. And of course, you can start up a local TYPO3 event, invite people. Well, I'm happy to join. And again, this is just like, let's say, the tip of the iceberg of what you can do, actually. And again, I think it makes sense. So if you made up your mind what you're good at, what are you going to do? Who are you going to talk to and say, okay, next time I'll help out at the event for the Helping Hands, for instance. How can we connect? Of course, for the developers, there's Slack and whatever, these techie stuff. I thought it's not the best way just to say, okay, do this and that. But I thought, okay, we need to connect it somehow. So I'm going to make one promise today. Basically, if you have a dream and a goal, and you're actually willing to do that, anything, I don't know what, send me an email or tweet, and in 2015, it's my promise, so I have to put a cap on, and I will respond to it and connect you to the right people, or even form a focus group on working on these areas and tasks. And these are, in my opinion, this is the future of TYPO3, that it's not a two-man show, but actually that we all put our dreams from what we expect from TYPO3 into reality. So these are my contact information for Twitter and email, and feel free to contact me for anything. Thanks for listening.